I was a stay-at-home mom with a 3-year-old and a 7-month-old. No audience, no design experience, and barely any time to myself. But I still built an Etsy shop that has made me over $27,000 even when I neglected it for months at a time. And I did that without posting on social media and without spending money on ads. In this video, I'm going to share with you why selling digital products on Etsy is so much easier than other business models like reselling courses or starting a Shopify store, especially if you're a complete beginner who doesn't have time, tech skills, or a social media following. And just to make sure this wasn't a fluke, I put all of my strategies in a step-by-step process that other people could follow too, and it worked. I've helped over 250 people, mostly busy moms like me, start making money from home selling digital products on Etsy. These are women with no design experience, no social media following, and barely any time, but they followed the system and they made sales. And these are just a few of their wins, so you can see what's possible for you too. If you've ever Googled how to make money online, you've probably been hit with 47 different business models. Sell a course, start a Shopify store, do affiliate marketing, resell a course, start a blog. There are so many options. And they all seem like they work because you see people saying things like, I made $30,000 in 6 days, or I've made $100,000 as a stay-at-home mom in 6 months. And you're sitting there thinking like, okay, but how? Like, what are the actual steps? For me, it just felt like way too much. Too techy, too expensive, and too time consuming. I was a stay-at-home mom, we were working with one income, and I did not have 10 hours a day to figure this all out. And that's exactly why I chose to go with Etsy instead. Etsy already has a built-in audience. I didn't have to learn ads. I didn't have to show my face on social media. I could make digital products while my kids were sleeping, upload them to my Etsy shop, and get back to my real life. And honestly, that's what I want for you too. Not the burnout, and definitely not the I'm doing everything but nothing seems to be working energy. Just something simple that actually makes you money, even if you're starting from scratch. One of the biggest reasons people don't start an Etsy shop is because they feel like they're not creative enough. And I get it. Most people think that Etsy is just for handmade and personalized gifts, but digital products like spreadsheets or editable invitations are quietly making people thousands of dollars. And they are not shipping a thing. I had no design background, no art skills, nothing about me screamed creative genius. And I've still managed to make sales on Etsy every single day. And most of the digital products that sell on Etsy are not complicated. We're talking meal planners, chore charts, budget spreadsheets, flashcards, simple, helpful things that real people are searching for. The truth is, you don't need to be artsy or tech savvy. You just need to know what kinds of products people are already looking for and how to make those products useful, and that's exactly what I show you how to do inside of the sales sprint. I show you how to quickly edit beginner-friendly templates that you can list in your Etsy shop without ever creating anything from scratch. And that's how you're going to be able to make sales while you live your life. So you don't need to be a designer, you just need a process that works, even if you're figuring this out during nap time. And once people realize that, the next thing they usually say is, okay, but isn't Etsy too saturated now? And I hear this all the time. And I get where it's coming from. You hop on Etsy, type in budget planner, and boom, 30,000 results pop up. It feels like everyone is already doing what you want to do. But here's what most people don't realize. That's true for every single business model. Restaurants, furniture stores, daycares, coffee shops. There's competition everywhere, but people are still making sales every single day, and Etsy is no different. The difference is knowing how to stand out. Think of it like going to the farmer's market. There might be 5 people selling soap, but only one of the shops have a super cute label, a fun name, and they have small self-care bundles for moms. That's the one that people are going to stop for. Not because no one else is selling soap, but because they made theirs feel a little bit more specific and a little bit more helpful. It's the exact same thing on Etsy. If you know how to position your product to speak to real people who are having a real problem, you are not competing with everyone else. You are standing out to the person who's searching for what you are offering. And that's why I recommend my students solve a very specific problem with each product instead of creating a niche for their entire shop, because that's how you're going to stand out in a crowded market. Because yes, there are a lot of Etsy shops, but there's only one you, and your perspective on that problem is what is going to make you sales. And once people realize Etsy isn't too saturated, the next worry is usually this: but don't I have to post on social media to actually get sales? And listen, I used to think the same thing because everywhere you look, it feels like you need a personal brand, a content strategy, and a viral TikTok video just to make one sale. But I knew that wasn't going to work for me. I was already juggling nap time, homeschooling, and the never-ending list of chores that needed to be done around the house. I didn't have time to be glued to my phone, chasing trends and trying to find the latest hashtags. And I've even had a mom write to me and thank me because she was trying to do all the other things to make money online, and she said her kids told her that she was spending too much time on her phone and they felt like she wasn't spending enough time with them even though she was home with them all day. And I can relate to that so much. And that's why Etsy felt like such a breath of fresh air. Because here's the thing, Etsy isn't like TikTok or Instagram. Etsy is a search engine. They're not scrolling for entertainment, they're searching for something to buy, like a chore chart for 5-year-olds or bridal shower games. You don't have to convince anyone to buy your product. You just have to show up in search results when they're looking for your product. And once I learned how to get my products to show up on all the pages of the different search results Etsy gives you, that's how I've been able to make money every single day without posting on social media. Sales started coming to me even when I wasn't on my phone or my laptop. And that's what makes Etsy so beginner friendly. You don't need to be an influencer. You don't need to go viral. You just need the right product in the right place with the right keywords. And Etsy does the rest. So no, you don't need to be glued to your phone to make this work. Etsy promotes your products for you so you can make money while you're living your life. And if you're wondering how long does it take to actually start seeing results, like, okay, but how fast can I really make money with this? Don't worry, I got you. In this video, I walk you through exactly how much I made selling digital products on Etsy in my first 90 days, and I break down what came in, what Etsy took out for fees, and how much was actually deposited into my bank account. And this video will just let you see what's possible for you as a complete beginner, just like me, as a homeschooling stay-at-home mom with very limited time to work on my Etsy shop. Because when I first started looking into how to make money online, everything felt so overwhelming. Everyone was talking about funnels, content strategies, lead magnets, passive income, evergreen offers. And I was like, what language are we speaking? I didn't want to build a personal brand. I didn't want to spend months creating a course no one would buy. And I didn't want to have to post on social media just to make money. I needed something I could do while my kids were sleeping so I didn't interfere with our daily routine. So let me break down why I went with Etsy over the other options available, like reselling courses, affiliate marketing, or Shopify. First, when it comes to getting traffic, with Etsy, they have a built-in audience of over 90 million active buyers. So Etsy will automatically promote your products for you to those millions of people. If you're using another business model like affiliate marketing, reselling courses, having your own Shopify store, you are responsible for getting people to your shop. You are responsible for getting people to find your products. If people don't know your products exist, then they won't buy them. And so that's why I prefer Etsy, because they have the built-in audience and they will promote my products for me. Next up is the startup cost. Etsy startup cost is less than $50 at the time of recording this. They do have a one-time fee that I have seen about $29. And then you pay a listing fee, which I give my students 40 free listings, so they don't even have the listing fee. So you can start an Etsy shop very affordably. And there's no monthly payment, so you get charged fees when you make a sale. Other business models, usually you'll have to buy a domain name, you might need a website, you'll have a monthly fee, whether you make sales or not. And so it's going to cost you more money in the beginning, and you may not be making sales, but you're still going to have to pay those fees. Now, when it comes to the tech skills needed, Etsy is pretty much drag and drop. They tell you how to do things, they tell you what dimensions your photos need to be, they tell you what to put where, so you easily know how to get your products on Etsy. But with other options like Shopify, you are going to need to create your own shop. You're going to need to figure out how to get your products in there. You will have to figure out if you need to set up funnels, upsells, downsells, cross sells, all of these things if you really want to maximize your sales with a platform like Shopify. Now, when it comes to the time commitment, Etsy is very flexible. I do it on my own schedule, and I'm still able to make sales even when I neglect my shop, where I don't run any sales, I don't list any new products, I don't touch my shop at all, and I still make sales every single day because Etsy is promoting my products for me. Now, if you're doing something else like Shopify or affiliate marketing, reselling courses, you need to be promoting that product because people aren't going to know that product exists if you don't tell them about it, because you don't have a built-in audience of 90 plus million buyers. So you are creating your own audience from scratch. And so the time commitment is going to be way higher than it is with something like Etsy, where they're promoting my products for me. And this is why social media is unnecessary when you do Etsy, because they have that built-in audience. Now, places like Shopify, they don't have a built-in audience. If you go to shopify.com, Shopify is going to be encouraging people to start their own Shopify store. If you go to Etsy.com, Etsy is going to be showing you products from the sellers on their platform. And so with Shopify, you are going to need some type of way to promote your products, whether that is with ads or social media, a blog, YouTube, whatever it is. You have to get the word out about your digital products. And so whenever people try to compare Etsy to Shopify, they are completely different. Etsy is a marketplace. Shopify is a storefront, and I have an entire video explaining the differences between this. But Etsy is a marketplace where people specifically go to buy things, and Etsy is going to promote your products for you. Shopify is a storefront where you can just set up your shop, but you are responsible for getting the word out about your Shopify store. They are not going to promote it for you. So before you start selling digital products, you need to figure out if you want to go the marketplace route where there's built-in traffic, you don't have to build an audience yourself. Etsy will promote the products for you. Or if you want to go the storefront route where you are responsible for promoting your own products. And if you don't promote them well, you're not going to make sales. So you have to figure out if you want to go the Etsy route or the Shopify route. All right, let's talk about what selling digital products on Etsy actually looks like, because I know sometimes the how can feel like a mystery. The first step is finding a digital product idea that solves a real problem. Not just something you think is cute or fun, but something that people are actually searching for and they want to buy. Step 2 is creating or customizing that digital product. This is the part that typically overwhelms people because they feel like they need to be a designer. But in the sales sprint, I show my students how to edit done-for-you templates. So digital products that have already been created, and the creator of that product is giving them the okay to edit it and list it in their Etsy shop. So my students don't have to create anything from scratch. In step 3, you're going to create your listing photos and your listing video. And in the sales sprint, I show you exactly how to do both of those things. And finally, you are going to upload that product to Etsy, which is pretty straightforward. But if you follow the process I show you in the sales sprint, I walk you through how to get Etsy to promote the products for you. So you can upload your digital product to Etsy and no one can see it because you haven't optimized for the search engine. But in the sales sprint, I show my students how to do search engine optimization so Etsy promotes the products for them and they can make sales while they're living their lives. And then once you hit publish on that product, that's where Etsy really shines. Etsy handles promotions, transactions, taxes, delivering the product to the customer. They do it all. So you don't have to worry about shipping, you don't have to worry about packaging, you don't have to worry about having a garage full of boxes, none of that. Which means you can just focus on creating more products and getting them listed into your Etsy shop instead of running around trying to fulfill orders or track down lost packages. One of the best parts about Etsy is that I don't have to spend hours glued to my phone or glued to my laptop. I can work in the morning before my kids wake up. I can work during nap times, in the evening, or whenever I get a chance to work on my Etsy shop as a busy homeschooling stay-at-home mom. Emotionally, it feels amazing to get those wins because it's just a boost of confidence and motivation to keep going. And financially, watching the sales roll in, getting all of those sales notifications, and knowing that I'm able to contribute financially to my family, even though I'm a stay-at-home mom, is priceless. Selling digital products on Etsy isn't just a side hustle. It's a flexible, beginner-friendly way to make money from home that fits into your life, not the other way around. So if you've been watching this and thinking, this actually sounds doable, but there's still that little voice in your head whispering, yeah, but can I really do this? I just want you to know you're not the only one that's felt that way. When I started, I did not have all the answers. I wasn't a designer, I wasn't tech savvy. I was a tired stay-at-home mom Googling how to make money online and looking for ways that I could do while still being present with my kids. I started my shop even though I had no idea what the heck I was doing, and now I'm showing other moms how to do the same without the pressure, without the burnout, and without having to post on social media to make sales. You don't need to have it all figured out right now. You just need to take the next step, because the truth is, this can work for you too. Even if you're starting from scratch, even if you're short on time, and even if you've never sold anything online before. Inside of the Sales Sprint, I guide you through every step of the process. From picking the right product, to listing that product on Etsy, to increasing the sales in your shop. You'll be able to avoid the overwhelm so you can have a clear, actionable step-by-step process to follow. And if you've ever felt just a little bit curious about what the step-by-step process looks like, then watch this video next where I share the exact process that I would follow in the first 90 days of starting an Etsy shop selling digital products.